Correct. Can't hear the microphone. I can hear the world music. I can't hear
I
anyone
can
talking though.
I can hear you. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, the audio wasn't doubling for. Maybe you have voices down.
We go. Can everybody hear me now? Out there in live stream world.
Yep.
Yep,
Excellent.
you're good.
Cool. So welcome everyone. So we had some technical difficulties. So if anybody out there is watching the live stream, I might not see your chats as quickly as I normally do because I am on a different headset to normal. So I have to switch over to go and see your chats. But cool, Lord Kirov, good to have you here. I'll be checking in and hopefully catch what you all have to say. Great. So, welcome everyone, and I'll say it again for those who just got to hear us on the live stream. Today we're going to look at how attachments and expectations can get in the way of living our most awesome life. And we're going to explore peace, equanimity, and ease. How we can feel better every day. So I just invite everyone to take a seat. If this is your first time in the temple, we often start with just a little intro and then diving into a meditation. Just getting to experience what we can do with our minds if we guide them in the right way. And then we're going to have a discussion, exploration, and then we often finish with a guided meditation as well. All right. So, let's dive straight into our meditation. Meditation that word is used by many different groups of people to mean different things. And so I actually use the word to mean any kind of thing we do with our minds. So you could have mindfulness meditation, you learn to watch your mind. You can have relaxation meditation. You can have kindness meditation, where you practice caring and feeling good about people. You can have laughter meditation. And for me, when I use the word meditation, I just mean any of those kinds. Just like art could mean any kind of art, or you can think of many things where someone might say, oh, real art is only realistic paintings. But that's not true. There's many forms of art, just like there's many forms of meditation. And so I'm going to guide a meditation for us. And if you're brand new to meditation, just sit back and relax, and I'll just give different suggestions. And just try to follow along and enjoy your experience. Okay, so let's all get comfortable. And we're going to start right now by just being aware of your body. Like I'm adjusting my feet, moving my hips into the pillow a little more, and I invite you to do the same thing. Just move around a little bit, feel your body, and get comfortable. Maybe wiggle your toes, maybe roll your shoulders up and back and down. I notice when I start to feel my body that it starts to feel more relaxed and at ease. Just giving it the awareness and also thinking of it being more relaxed. And maybe now that I've given that suggestion, you might also notice that your body feels better. the next deep breath or two, your body might let go a little more completely. And I might give some suggestions, and it will be really surprising how nice they are. Like just then, perhaps, when I said your body will relax more, you might have noticed it happening. And it's pretty amazing, really. But if I give some suggestions and it doesn't happen for you, that's fine too. Just roll with it. Keep exploring, being open to more and more interesting experiences that will come and go. So next we're going to take an intentionally slow, deep, relaxing breath. I'm going to take a few of those, and hopefully you'll notice that each time you'll feel better. Your body will relax more. And especially when you breathe out, I invite you to just feel the letting go sensation of breathing out. And if your eyes are still open, I invite you to close them. And then with your eyes closed, it's just you and your consciousness. So part of the meditation will be just observing how amazing our consciousness is. Part of it will be some time to feel at peace and to feel good. Part of it will be seeing how we can change our consciousness, like a relaxing few breaths can make us relax. But we can also practice kindness or ease or peace. So let's take another few slow, deep breaths and imagine all the muscles in your body being completely at peace and your mind being calm, present, peaceful. Muscles relax. Feeling at peace. Experiment with taking some even deeper breaths. Maybe you'll notice that when you're breathing in deeper, like the breath flows in a little differently. And the longer out breath gives you more time into the peace. One of the things I love about meditation is that in a pretty short time, it can really shift how I can feel. And that feeling can last 4 hours. If I do it often, it lasts for days. And these nice, peaceful, easeful feelings that I make, they can transform me. As you keep taking deep, peaceful breaths, just let yourself enjoy the feelings that you are cultivating. Try taking an even deeper breath. How much can you fill your lungs? And just like we can explore the depth of our breath, we're also going to be exploring different feelings and perspectives. But right now, let's just keep exploring. How deep can you breathe? And how nice can you make your out breath feel? Just keep bringing yourself back into those deep breaths. Maybe you're already feeling relaxed. And then let yourself imagine or explore feeling even more peaceful. Maybe you'll get to a point where you feel more at peace, more at ease, more relaxed than you ever even knew was possible. Just each moment, just focusing on the peace, on the calm, curious where that will take you. And every moment of the meditation, it changes, it shifts where your focus is or how it feels, whether you're thinking or sensing. One beautiful thing about meditation, we just get to notice our consciousness more. Just like feeling our body, let us adjust and relax our body to feel better. Noticing your consciousness lets you adjust it and make it feel better. Just staying with the soothing breaths, observing your mind and exploring, feeling better and better. Peaceful. each breath that you take, enjoying your consciousness, guiding yourself into a greater sense of ease. It's almost like you are training your inner self, your core, to be this infinite peace and calm. Imagine if your inner self was this infinite ocean of peace. Whatever happened, you had this feeling of calm and ease and freedom and strength inside of you. Now, if you're still taking deep breaths, I invite you to let the breath just return to your natural breathing. Or maybe you'll notice that just by being aware of your breath, you're not sure what natural breathing would be. So just return to effortless breathing. No deeper than it needs to, no shallower than it needs to. Just let it flow. And we were cultivating a feeling of relaxation, of peace, of calm and ease. But for now, I invite you to let go of that as well. And just breathe, giving our mind a rest. Just observing our breath. You may notice other activity in your consciousness, more than just seeing the breath and feeling the breath and hearing the breath. Just let yourself be fascinated by the intricate wonder that is your consciousness. But I invite you to imagine that everything else would disappear and it's just your breath. It's a game we play with ourselves, creating this deep, powerful concentration and letting everything else in the mind become still. We're going to do this for just a few more minutes. Each moment that you're concentrated on the breath, your brain is learning to more powerfully direct its consciousness. And each moment where you see something else, you think something else, the faster you catch that and just see what it's like to let it go and completely, fully come back into the breath as fast as you can. It's teaching your consciousness a priceless skill. So each breath, be in the peace. Each moment that you come back into the breath, feel empowered. Just a couple of minutes of practicing this presence and this directed attention. And then 5 more breaths. Give every moment of the breath all of your attention. And as we begin to wrap up the meditation, I just invite you to notice how you feel now. Remember anything you learned about how to direct your attention. Or maybe you learned how to feel into nicer feelings. Maybe you saw a moment of just letting go of something doesn't help you. You could imagine what it would be like to completely let go of every thought, feeling, or belief that doesn't help you. And then as we start to transition from our meditative state back into the temple, maybe you'd like to just think about what it's like to practice this peace inside of you. Maybe you'd like to think about meditating each day to give yourself more and more of these good feelings. Maybe you'd like to affirm to yourself something positive and encouraging. And one thing we
I know
often like to
where.
do here in the temple after our meditations is just open it up to anyone who'd like to share. So if you had a nice moment or a nice feeling or an insight, if anyone would like to share anything, please do. Okay, well, I guess we're going to move on to our topic for tonight then. Again, this headset, the battery's really low, so if I drop out in some moment,
Mhm.
I'm going to try and jump onto something else and make it work. But yeah. So the topic I wanted to look at tonight
Right?
was... Yes? Fluffy?
Oh, sorry. I I wasn't saying something.
Okay,
I'm sorry. My bad.
no worries. Oh, did anyone have anything they wanted to share from their meditation before we move on? All right, so the topic we're going to look at tonight was attachments and expectations. In some mental training philosophies, there's the idea that peace and happiness is our innate self or freedom, and that it's our expectations that we impose on the world that cause us unhappiness. If our mind was just totally present with life as it is, we would be happy and peaceful all the time. And before I go into looking at what kinds of attachments and expectations, I just invite you to take a moment to imagine a mindset that is, whatever happens in life, you just roll with it. Whatever happens, you feel ready to deal with it. However someone treats you, you're just really present with them in that moment. You're kind, you're caring. When things change, big changes, small changes, you just dive into the new situation and give it your creativity and your presence. Now, from what I was just describing, can I see from a wave or maybe a comment, do people, are you able to imagine that way of being as an easygoing, happy approach to life? Sometimes it's very hard to go with anything. Can you tell me what you mean by go with anything? You were saying, I was saying, be the state of mind that whatever happens, you can just roll with it. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much the point of tonight's session. Yes, we could imagine a state of mind that's happy and easygoing, but we have habits or reactions that are not so easy. So we're going to be looking at how can we lessen or minimize the negative reactions we have to stuff, and also how can we maximize that easygoing, peaceful, empowered version of ourselves. Now, one of the first steps we can take is actually just to spend more time imagining that easygoing self, more time feeling it, more time experiencing, hey, what would I be like if something hard came up and I just was strong and wise and peaceful? And the more time you imagine that, the more time you're rehearsing that, the more time you're practicing it, the more you're growing pathways in your brain that in those situations, those pathways fire off, and that is how you'll naturally feel, how you'll naturally react. So I hope that from this moment on, all of you spend some time pretty regularly feeling and imagining your most easygoing, empowered, happy, awesome self. Practice it. You might like to think of it as like exercise, getting stronger and stronger. Every time you work out, you're making yourself more happy, chill, easygoing. Or you may like to think of it as like brushing your teeth. Something to do every day to just keep your mind clean. The stuff that life throws at you each day, you take some time to just brush it off by tuning back into that peaceful, empowered part of yourself. Welcome, Zay. We were just talking about if you were to move through life with no expectations or attachments, if whatever happened in each moment, you could just roll with it and just bringing your happiest, most awesome self. So Onyx has just said, it's hard for me to stay positive when 90% of the people around me are negative. Yeah, that's a really good point. So there are different attitudes we can have that even the negative people can make you feel more awesome. If you really see yourself as a force for good in the world, and the negative people around you, the button that they push in you is that you're excited to find some way to nudge them in a positive direction. And it might not always work, but you love it because that's part of your attitude. That can be a way that no matter who you're around, it just lifts you up even more. You may also want to spend more time with positive people. Come to the temple more often. Go to more sports events or entrepreneur events or artist events. All right, let's try and take ourselves back into VRChat. And apologies to everyone out there on the live stream. My main headset just stopped working this morning and I haven't been able to fix it, figure out why. So, a little bit of special teachings just for those of you out there on the live stream. So we were talking about how attachment and expectations can cause unhappiness. So I want you to think about what was just shared, the difficulties that people have, and see them. Every one of those was an expectation or some attachment to how things should be. Here we go. Let's go meet everyone again. And to anyone out on the live stream who hasn't experienced world hopping in VR worlds, please come and join us. It's such a beautiful experience. All right, here we go.
Not something to do here. It was more, it was one of those intrusive thoughts that sometimes you have, but you're like, I don't want to do. You know what I mean? It was one of those thoughts.
So good to see you sharing when I come back in. Thank you. Melanie, are you happy to talk about the intrusive thoughts on the stream, or should we talk about that after?
I guess we can talk about. Sometimes you just have thoughts that I don't really have intrusive thoughts usually. I guess the way I've always described my thoughts is the way I've always thought myself, is I've always had this feeling of declinism, or the feeling that everything not everything has been, but everything has always felt like it's fleeting in life. Does that make any sense? Where it's like the nature that I've always felt concerned is I'm a person that places heavy emphasis on my own personal growth and stuff. And I felt over the course of time, I felt a feeling of basically declinism, where it's like things have not been progressing as much as it used to be. People that you know that are close to you might, maybe in the game more, sometimes in real life, might be drifting further away from you. And it feels sometimes like it's outside your control. But part of me realizes that one of the things I need to start to do whenever there's an external environment with something like that is to let go and just develop a mindset while the negative things are gone in the past. Those things may not go, but new ones will come in its place. That's why I realize I need to take in sometimes. So rather than like perseverate and embrace the time I have in the moment with those people versus thinking about the future, rushing ahead and realizing, crap, things are not going to continue, but instead enjoy the moments I have with me and take on each new moment as needs be, because stuff is not going to happen negatively later, and things might change, but there's always going to be new opportunities or new things that could take its place. Even if there isn't, there's ways you can make those new opportunities to let go and just live in the moment. That sounds...
Yeah, that's actually part of what I was going to talk about today. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, we are in a Buddhist temple, and one of the common themes in a lot of Buddhist practices is that change is the only constant. Actually, I don't even know if that's how a Buddhist would phrase it. That's a common in so many different philosophies, Western philosophy, and so yeah, as change is always happening, if you choose to hold on or be attached. Oh, Wisdom, can you mute while I'm speaking? Thank you. So yeah, if we hold on to stuff. Oh, you're not muted. So yeah, if you're focusing on all the things that are gone, being attached to them, that will certainly be, well, not certain, but most likely be a source of suffering. But as you said, as you change your perspective and try to enjoy the moments you have with people and be open to new and interesting things coming, you're having exactly the same experience, but you'll be able to enjoy it so much more, and also hopefully minimize or completely get rid of any suffering. And not only will you make the experience better, but you'll probably also have different experiences. If you're more, just like you said, if you're more open to positive things coming your way, or you're looking for new friends or for the kinds of friends that you would like to bring into your life, you're more likely to have those conversations. You're more likely to show up to a group with a positive feeling that will make people feel more positive towards you. And I just think it's amazing that by shifting our perspective, even just a little, it can radically change how we experience things, how we think about things. Now, I think what you just shared about things changing all the time and how you relate to that is awesome. I want to respond also to the first thing I overheard just a little bit of these intrusive thoughts. And let's just say, like, you were thinking, oh, declinism, stuff's going to go, these people will be gone and drifting away. But you know that, hey, if you focus on growing the important friends, many of them will grow. And you know that looking for new opportunities, you can keep life fun. But then maybe those other thoughts keep coming back. So the meditation that we did to start, where we were just watching our breath and being in that stillness, can actually wildly help throughout the day. Because when we're just breathing, maybe you were just relaxed and breathing the whole time. I saw you get up and move a bit, so I'm pretty sure you weren't just in the breath. But yeah, we can get to a point where we're just completely in the infinite Zen stillness. But for many of us, we're going to have thoughts and attention movement. And the practice of seeing that and then just letting it go, right now, all that matters is my breathing. Every time we do that, we then have this skill of letting go of intrusive thoughts, letting go of the attitudes that don't help us, stepping back into what attitude do I want to have right now. And so while breathing meditation may seem really simple, it's just this time to relax, or maybe you're not even relaxing, all you're doing is breathing. It's actually profound in that it trains your mind that in every moment you get to let go of the things that don't serve you and be back into what you choose to focus on. And I can say it's profound, but that doesn't capture how amazing it is. I mean, if you move through your day and in every moment you've let go of anything that doesn't help you and you're just stepping into bliss and ease, you can compare a day when you're not doing that at all to a day where you did that throughout the whole day, and it's awesome. It's world changing. It's your life changing. So mindfulness meditation, watching our mind and really choosing the state that we want to have in each moment, it's so simple. Like, the idea is so simple, but the benefit is just so wildly awesome. But I like that you brought up not just like how we feel in each moment, but you brought up an attitude that can help with that as well. If you are open to good things coming your way and building good friendships, then the way you relate to everything and everyone is going to be more enjoyable and more positive. So I want to tie that back into today's theme of attachments and expectations. So attachments can be as concrete as like, oh, this is my favorite toy, and oh, I've lost my toy and I'm going to cry. And we can see that in kids, or you could remember that in your childhood. But attachments can also be, hey, these 5 of us go to this VR world every week and hang out. And then, oh, something happened and that group doesn't exist anymore. And I'm going to go and cry about it. And if you stop and think about it, I'm pretty sure you'll see many things in your life, and many things that you're attached to. Like, if it changed, you'd be like, oh, I want it to be like that. Ways that things are in your friendships, or chapters of your life. And by being able to just label whenever you see that it's an attachment, that's like this mental tool to switch it around and be like, oh, okay, there was a thing, there was a situation, now it's changed. Now I'm going to be present with what is. And perhaps you'll then choose to reach out to those 5 friends and say, hey, that was great. Can we make something even more fun together? I mean, non-attachment doesn't just mean giving up on everything. It just means nothing's going to hurt you. You're cool with whatever. You can put your energy into anything. And if I choose to reach out to those 5 friends and try and make something more fun happen, and it doesn't go the way I was trying, I'm not attached to the outcome. I tried, I put in some energy, I learned, I adjusted, I got better. It's all moving forward, having fun. An attachment, you can almost think of that as like holding on to the past, whereas non-attachment is being present. And very similar to attachment is expectations. So sometimes someone says something that's different than you're expecting. It could push your buttons in the wrong way. Or sometimes things don't go the way you wanted them to. And I would encourage you to consider that any time you're not feeling great, you may be able to find some kind of expectation or attachment that's not being met. And if you were to drop the expectation or to drop the attachment, you'd be able to be at peace and fully present. Some people believe if you get into that state of mind where there's no attachments and no expectations, you'll be enlightened. I like to think that that will bring you into like a pleasant neutral, and you can then also cultivate happiness and joy and compassion. But yeah, at the very least from today's session, I want that pleasant neutral, being able to move through life with ease in every situation That's my goal for you today. Does anyone have any questions or responses or comments about what we just covered? Pops?
Hmm. What if you're in situations where you find it very advantageous to be thinking about the past or be thinking about the future, and then it's almost like
Mm.
you evoke that emotional state about either missing what was once before or being concerned about what's to come? How do you get in the thought process of being able to reflect on the past or try to predict the future without it ever at all like impacting your like current present self?
So that's a great question. So can I just clarify, when you said it's advantageous to think about the past, you mean because you can learn from the lessons? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, stuff like that. Like you can learn from the lessons. Like there might have been some, or maybe there was some event that was like, um, yeah, like pretty horrific for whatever reason, but then there was something to gain from it, and so you want to reflect on and use that knowledge in the present moment.
Yeah, great. So let's look at the past first, then we can look at the future after. So, definitely considering things that have happened and learning from them is a wonderful thing. The balance of how much is that is too much is it's another question. But the question we're looking at now is, how do we go and think about the past, especially times it was really painful or really intense in some way? How do we look at that and learn from it and not get caught up in the pain or the negative reaction? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Great. So, in breathing meditation, there's this exercise of letting go, and you start to think about something and you just let it go, and you come back into your breath. Maybe you start to think of something that also has a pretty intense feeling, and you just let it go, and then there's that feeling of that intense feeling is actually let go of, not just for right now, but also I have diffused the intensity of it. Perhaps you've had that experience in breathing meditation.
Yeah.
Um, I like to think that just me suggesting that, your minds will now all be ready to do more of that, releasing any of the feelings that don't support you or don't feel good. And
Mm.
as you go to think about something from the past, if you're intentionally saying, hey, I want to think about this and learn from it, then I want you to approach it mentally, gently, step by step. Hey, I'm going to think about it. And if not great feelings arise, I'm going to just chill, release those feelings, let myself be able to look at and think about this thing with
Mm.
this calm, clear mind. Or maybe you don't even want to choose calm and clear. Maybe you want to get into a state of mind that's like pumped up and empowered, or that's an awesome leader, or that's an enlightened being of compassion, or that's a careful teacher. So if you intentionally approach the memory from a state of mind that you choose, and you like meditate yourself into it, release the not helpful feelings and grow the feelings that you want, that is something that is possible. If you just go and dive into the feelings and the suffering, sure, your brain's going to do that. And if someone is feeling really bad in memories, I would say, hey, maybe don't do that for a while. Spend more time doing breathing meditation. Let that other stuff fade. But yeah, it's definitely
Mm.
possible to cultivate the kind of mindset where you can go into memories that were painful at the time and look at them objectively, powerfully.
Thank you.
And I just want to reiterate, if you're going to do that, the moment you see it starting to not feel empowered, just be like, okay, I'm stepping back into my breath. I'm gently going into these memories, approaching it, that I feel awesome the whole way in. Oh, there's that thing that hurt. Okay, there's that button. I'm rewiring that hurt button into a peace button. All right, I'm ready for some more. Gonna go look at that memory some more. Oh, and there's that thing they did. All right, come back to my breath. Okay, I can look at this. I'm going to be empowered. And then as you're framing it, you actually get to frame it even more awesomely for you. I'm going to be empowered, or I'm going to look at this peacefully, or I'm going to look at this with understanding and love. Like, as you step out of the reaction, you then get to frame it to be even more awesome for what you want. Now, for thinking about the future,
I can be a lot more violent.
there's so many different things our minds can do into the future. There's worries, there's plans, there's preparations. Perhaps you could describe more specifically what you are asking about.
Mm, I guess, and this might be like a more extreme example if you'd want to call it extreme, but it's not. It's pretty tame actually. I guess an example would be you're talking to like a customer service rep of say like a loan company, um, and say like you owe a loan company money, and they're just like being absolutely unkind, and you're like you try approaching with kindness, and you're like kind of hypothesize in your head like, do I need to approach with unkindness? Is that the only way that I'm gonna find a resolution here? That's something that kind of bothers me, because I don't want to be in those types of situations, but I feel like
What if I
sometimes
approach?
we're forced to.
Man.
Shamwater, can we let Pops finish first, please?
Yeah, finish.
Yeah. Pops, let me reiterate, and then you can say the last bit again. So, they're being intense, and you are trying to approach them with kindness, but what was the last bit you said?
You try to approach them with kindness, but the kindness just doesn't work. You try to use kindness and empathy, and suddenly you realize you're in a situation where like maybe you have like a big financial obligation, or maybe you have an obligation to like protect someone that you love. So then you're like almost forced to approach with unkindness, because there's like no other avenue. Almost, it's like you're stuck. You've done everything you can to be kind.
Hey, Shamwater. Sham, we're concentrating together, so you can either join in with that.
What if we approach everything with this?
What? I can't hear you.
A little bit of healing, but destruction mostly. Anyways, Chobits is cool. I like Chobits.
I'm gonna ask you to leave, Shamwater, because we're doing a class together.
Don't worry about it.
So Pops, I guess the response to that would be that when something's really intense, you don't have to resort to unkindness. You can also, if you need to be intense, you need to get this result, you can then strategize. How can I be assertive? How can I clearly say what's needed and just keep getting there you getting upset or angry is possibly less likely to get you the result that you want. And yeah, many people have in their mind this model of be kind and calm or get upset. But that's not the only possibilities. You can act in any way. Any personality that you can imagine, you could be that. So you could step into the part of you that's more like a salesman. You could step into the part of you that's charming. You could step into the part of you that lays out how important this is and what you need and why it has to be resolved now. And do that strongly, but still kindly. And yeah, in the heat of the moment, you need this thing and someone's not delivering or mishearing you. I understand how that could, like, you're expecting or you're attached to getting this outcome now. But if you release that expectation, release the attachment, and just remind yourself to step back into what's the best way for me to act right now, then I know you can do it. I know you've got so many different resources and ways to be. But maybe you've got to ask yourself that question. Hey, what's the best way to me to talk right now? And perhaps you even need to, or all of us, can spend a bit of time pre-rehearsing. When I'm in situations where someone's communicating in a way that is important to me, that we get somewhere and they're being blah, how do I want to respond to that? Just saying that, I can think of some situations where that's happened to me recently and where my reaction was okay, but I definitely, now I say that out loud, want to spend some time prepping myself for a more awesome reaction next time. Pops, did I answer the question, or is there some aspect that you want to clarify?
Oh yeah, you answered the question well. I'm just a little intrigued and lost in my thought of intriguedness.
What are you intrigued about?
I guess I never really thought of it in the perspective of like, because what I was imagining, not to reiterate what I've already spoken, but like you're in a conversation where someone is maybe making borderline comments that could hurt someone that you love emotionally, and you need to get them to stop, like in that moment, and it almost feels like you are, despite the fact that you don't want to use forceful like language or tone, it feels like you're cornered.
Well, yeah, labeling it as I'm cornered is, I hope you can notice if you're ever saying that or feeling something like that. Take a deep breath, let go of that, and step into something else. And if you can't think what it would be, just set that intention. I'm going to find some awesome way to be. Take a few breaths and step into awesome, and trust your creativity to come up with something.
Yeah, I guess in the end it is all a mindset. You're not actually cornered. I mean, there are very specific situations I could go into where, like, yeah, maybe you are, but the majority of situations, I guess it's all a mental, maybe like a fight or flight or something like that. And it's like overcoming that natural reaction.
Yep. So you may notice I always bring it back in these sessions to those two foundations. One is brain programming, choosing how you want to be, being able to overcome that reaction by stepping into something else. And then the other is mindfulness, breathing and watching our mind so that hopefully you wouldn't even get that fight or flight reaction because your inner peace is just before they even push that button, you've already calmed yourself and been present.
Now I want to study more about the other week when you were talking about the Shaolin monks. I definitely want to do some reading. That's inspired me.
I think I was using them more as a pop culture reference that you can train your body to do amazing things. I don't particularly know of their actual teachings in a way that I'd be like, yeah, you've got to go and learn that bit of their teachings. Unless you want to go and be able to balance on one finger and smash wood with your head, yeah, then they're the place to go.
I think it's more so like the idea of like having the physical strength to protect someone if you needed to, but also having the mental fortitude and wisdom to almost never having to use that.
Or hopefully never.
Which is very interesting to me.
Not just almost. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully never.
Hopefully never.
Yeah. Hopefully never.
Hopefully never not.
Yeah, I like to think that we're moving into a more and more peaceful world where many people might go their whole life with no violence. And I hope one day in the not too distant future, everyone will go through their life with no violence.
Yeah, it'd be pretty amazing.
And to bring it back to this conversation where the person's treating you poorly, you getting angry is I don't want to say it's violent, but it's definitely not peaceful. And you being assertive and strong could still be peaceful and kind. So I hope we all cultivate states of mind, attitudes where we can be powerful and still be enjoyable or at least peaceful for everyone around.
Thank you.
De nada. Let me check the live stream. Oh, no comments. Come on, guys, jump in, say something. Hey, everybody. All right. Does anyone else have any questions or thoughts or perhaps responses to what we just discussed?
The one thing that comes to my mind is sometimes when I think of the customer service, I'm usually a customer service representative myself. I wouldn't try to say anything hurtful, but sometimes the person that does say the hurtful things might not know they are either being hurtful or the one thing that goes to my mind is the idea that if one side usually lashes out, sometimes the other side can escalate, and whenever that situation does occur, that can sometimes happen, and sometimes even the person on the other end is not in control with the situation. It depends upon different types of stuff when it comes to my mind when I think about stuff like that. Because sometimes people I'm not really sure what I'm saying. That's just what goes through my mind sometimes. If the person is very aggressive, I would agree. That's just my thoughts, I think.
I think for millions of years, all of our interactions have been looking someone in the eyes and being present with them and having some body language. And phones and internet, it's like the person that we're so used to being present with is not there. And I think it can be easier to say or do something that you wouldn't normally do in real life. So
It's not just that, it's also easier. So it's not just that, it's also easier for people to misinterpret people. So, like, somebody on one person's end might sound to somebody on one end could think that they're being saying one thing when it could equally come across as super aggressive on the other end as well.
Yeah. And all of these things we've just said, to me, are reasons for us to spend time practicing being a more wise, empowered personality. Having that intention can be good, but spending time to meditate on it and to feel into what's it like to be a peacemaker, what's it like to respond calmly and kindly to anything, what's it like to be able to reach into someone's humanity while they're being angry to you, what's it like to make them feel cared for when they've been horrible to you. And practicing this kind of thing, feeling into it, means we're ready for it when we need to. And not only is it good that we're ready for it when we need to, the world needs it. There's so many disagreements and misunderstandings that every moment someone becomes more of a peacemaker, it's a beautiful gift that you're giving to the world, to yourself, to your future, and to the people who see you be like that, and to the people who you bring peace to. So I hope that motivates every one of us to spend another couple of minutes meditating each day, rehearsing being your kind, awesome, wonderful self. Jokovic? Oh, I thought that was a wave. Would anyone else like to ask a question? So I want to reiterate that these discussions, I hope that they're full of little gems, attitudes that could be helpful. But that's not my intention. I don't want to give you some helpful ideas. I want that you take these positive ideas like seeds, you plant them in your mind, and you grow them and you make them awesome. Or you create your own seeds. Really, these sessions are to encourage you to meditate every day, to spend some time practicing awesome feelings. It doesn't have to be peace, calm, or any of the words I say. Yes, calming your mind first can be great, that you're then free to design other stuff. But you designing how you want to feel, you practicing every day the feelings that you want to be, the mindsets you want to be, letting go of beliefs and attitudes that you hold, and asking yourself what would be the most awesome attitudes and beliefs, and then practicing that. That's really what I want these sessions to be for. These discussions are seeds of goodness, and then it's up to you to water those seeds and to shine the light on them and to grow them. And just like it's hard to believe that a little seed that fits in your fingertips can turn into a giant tree, but the same can happen. Some idea about being assertive and kind might sound like a nice idea, but you practice it every day for a month and imagine it being as awesome as you can. A week later, the amount you can feel it and the awesomeness you can imagine is bigger than you can at the start. And a month in, you've grown this giant tree of assertive, unshakable awesomeness. The seeds that we talk about here can grow and be more awesome than you can imagine. So my real hope is that you'll meditate on these ideas. You'll practice them. You'll envisage them and enjoy them and love them. Or design your own positive ideas and envisage them and love them and feel them so much until you are just shining that out into the world. It's part of who you are. Now, today's topic was about expectations. I want you to be dreaming of the most enlightened, empowered, amazing version of yourself. And I want you to sit down and meditate with that intention. And if next week someone does something to you and then you get angry, I don't want you to judge yourself or like expect, oh, I should have been better than this. We're kind and gentle with ourselves. And in every moment, we're just supportive to ourselves. Dream big, practice awesome, and be kind to yourself. Has any of you ever experienced, or you've seen or heard, if someone goes and plays sport with people who are much better with them, if they get into it, they find themselves just being a lot better at the sport. Somehow they just kind of vibe off the people and get better. Have you ever experienced that or heard someone experience that? Well, I've definitely experienced it a bunch of times. I'm able to just be a lot better at some activity when I'm hanging out with people who are really good at it. And envisaging and imagining yourself to be awesome is like hanging out with those great performers. It's like you're creating this inner world. Someone mentioned before, how can you be positive when everyone around you is negative? Well, yeah, I want you to fill your mind with all these awesomely positive people, versions of you and versions of the people around you, the kind of friends that you're going to create into the future. Now, the reason I mentioned expectations is sometimes someone will go out and play sport with a bunch of people who are just so much better than them. And then instead of just being present and enjoying and vibing off of it, they start being like, oh, I'm not as good as these people. They're expecting themselves to do something that they just can't do right now. And that judgment or expectation can make them not feel good and can also be an enthusiasm killer. And I encourage all of you, if you ever notice yourself comparing or judging or expecting something from yourself, just label that as an unreal expectation. I'm just going to step back into like enjoying and soaking up and learning whatever I'm able to. My hope is that you envisage and you practice the most awesome version of you, and you're kind and calm to yourself every step of the journey. If you ever notice yourself get into some state of mind that's hard or you feel stuck in it, please just spend a lot of time in that 0 point of infinite potential into peace. Be like, hey, what if I just let go of all of that for a while? I'm not going to try and figure out any of that tangled mess. I'm just going to put it aside or let go of it forever. Here I am. I'm in this body. I'm on this planet. I'm in this country. I have these skills. What can I do with it? And you can be peace, and you can be happiness, and you can be kindness, and you can be ease, and you can be clarity, and you can be confidence. You can be simple. You can be funny. You can be creative. Actually, that's a thought for everybody. Sometimes I know I've had at least one chapter, 2 chapters of my life where I got really caught up in a bunch of not good feelings and confusing ideas and attitudes about myself and life. And eventually I was just like, hey, this sucks. This tangled mess, I might never untangle it. I'm just going to put it all aside and just ask myself, what would be the way I'm meant to be? What would be the version of me that would be the best for the world, the best for me? And I'm just going to think that and feel that and be that. Now, you might not relate to have been caught up in something hard and confusing, but I hope for all of us, take some time every now and then to be like, hey, what if I just put all my habits, all my feelings, everything aside and just role played the best version of me, or maybe not even the best version of you, be the funniest version of you, or be a Ninja Turtle version of you for a day, be a wizard version of you for a day, be an artist version of you for a day, be a science version of you for a day, be a mathematician version of you for a day. Just let your creativity explore. Let yourself try different awesome perspectives. You know, it's very common for people to be attached to, hey, this is who I am. This is how I am. But the truth is that's just an attachment. You can easily be different. All right, I'm just going to check time. Oh, Trianta said, thank you for being here for us every week. It's really nice having you talk with us as often as you do. Well, thank you for appreciating and for being here with us too. Like I said, these sessions are wonderful for me. And I hope for all of us, taking time to encourage people around us or to guide meditations or to talk about mindfulness or to talk about practice, to talk about practicing the way you want to feel, practicing positive habits, rehearsing good attitudes. When you talk about it with other people, you get better at it. You say things that surprise yourself and you're like, oh, that's a really good way to think about it. So, yeah, I love these sessions because they enrich me and they strengthen me. And I hope all of you practice that with the people around you. And I also notice more and more people here have been coming regularly, sharing their awesome stories and their shifts in perspective that really help them, and the ways that mindfulness and self-transformation has become more real for them. I love it that it's all of us helping each other. So it's almost time for our closing meditation. Does anyone have any questions about attachments or expectations, or any other questions about meditation or anything we covered, or anything else? All right. So Messiah Isha has just joined us. And for those of you out on the live stream, you might not be able to see people's names, but everybody's got a name tag, and some of us have a little status. Messiah's status is "Wise people are heaven," and I think I'm going to use that for inspiration for our closing meditation, because I hope we've all noticed that when we're around kind people, life just feels so much better. And when you're around wisdom, things can be easier. And what really drives me to put these sessions on is I want a world where everyone is being as wise and as kind as possible, where we support each other, where we're not just practicing our own happiness and peace, we're playing this game of enlightenment for everybody. How can I spread as much positivity and awareness and awesomeness wherever I go? And your status, wise people are heaven. I do really like the idea of heaven on earth, or an enlightened planet. And that's one thing that motivates me each time I meditate. Messiah just wrote, wise people are closer to nirvana. Well, it depends on the wisdom. It also depends which definition of nirvana you mean. But yeah, I think in general,
Yeah.
the freedom from suffering and being completely present at ease with the world, most forms of wisdom are closer to that. Yeah. So let's begin our closing meditation. Everybody get into your meditation posture. Perhaps that's sitting back into your chair and getting relaxed. Perhaps it's sitting up straight. Maybe your legs are crossed. Maybe your feet are flat on the ground. I think everyone should roll your shoulders up and then back. Oh, feel those muscles. And then let them relax. So your postures are sitting up a little straighter. Your shoulder muscles are aligned a little more energetically. And then we'll take a deep breath together. And just gently close your eyes. And with the idea of letting your mind settle, we'll take 3 peaceful breaths. So imagine if you had taken some time, and any time there was some expectation or attachment you had, you just noticed it straight away and just decided, let go of that, just be present, joyful. And imagine if you'd been doing that for a year or two, you did it all the time, and you got to the point where you trained your mind to not even do those attachments or expectations. And you were just at ease. Whatever came your way, you could just roll through it with wisdom and strength and happiness. Imagine if you meditated on this every day. And the joy is just naturally part of you in each moment. The easygoingness, the assertiveness, the power, and the ease that you just made bigger and stronger and more fun and easier every day. And now whatever's right in your mind, take a few breaths and imagine if you just let go of all of that forever. And then you stepped into something more beautiful, more uplifting, more easeful, more wise. You're loved by many. There are many people who care for you, care about you. You're creative, talented. You have so much potential. You can be a force for good for so many people. Every time you laugh, that's another laugh in the world. That makes me want to laugh more. Every smile, every moment that you smile, the world is more smiling. I'm imagining you at a point where the reoccurring thoughts in your mind is just more smiles and spirals of happiness that makes bigger smiles, that makes bigger happiness. Confidence and purpose that makes more energy, that makes more confidence and purpose. You being creative and expressive and successful in a way that makes you more practical, more grounded, more impactful, and that makes you even more creative and expressive. You noticing the moments that you bring people peace, the moments you bring people aha, self-transformation, the moments you bring people kindness, the times you think about spreading empowerment, and then you do it. Just let all those ideas just simmer in your self as you bring your attention back into your breath. In each moment of the breath, just let all of your inner goodness shine. Your awareness, your attention, your creativity will take you wherever it's going to take you. Then I want you to think of everybody else who's here and wish for them happiness and peace. Wish for them empowerment. If you had any insights today or shifts in how you think about your mind or about life, you want to share them. You want to bring more of that into all our minds. And everybody else had different shifts or improvements or nice moments. Let's get curious. Bring the best out of each other so that you can learn it, you can grow it in yourself, and then you can share your best with each other too. Imagine if tomorrow you give yourself 10 peaceful breaths and then a little while to just feel and grow all of your favorite moments from this evening. Imagine you do that in a way that you know it's going to make your day better and brighter. Maybe see yourself do it sometime in the morning. Where could you find a few minutes or more? Set yourself up for an awesome day. And then imagine the next day. Do it again. You set yourself up for an even better day. And then imagine it's decades in the future from now, and you're looking back, and you can just see all of the kindness and happiness and ease that you've been practicing. Just made so many beautiful feelings as a gift for yourself. And you have these wonderful smiles and this ease in your voice. you can also just give these gifts to other people. Give yourself that gift each day. Time to just settle the mind and then to step into ease, confidence, assertiveness, wisdom, your best self. Let's just finish with 5 very deep breaths, almost as deep as you can make each breath. And then we'll move into the sharing part. Zara has shared, thank you for the session. I'm wishing everyone a fulfilling week. And if there's anything you'd like to share, maybe it's just a feeling, maybe something you saw in your meditation or something you realized. Anyone like to share? Well, I want to share that I feel caring for everyone here and hope and excitement for your enlightenment. And as I share that, I want you to know that I'm talking to you. And I'm hoping that you feel me caring about you and me enthusiastic and excited for your awesome self. More confidence and ease and peace. We've got another minute or two. Love someone else to share. Alright, is there someone here in the temple or on the live stream who's thinking about maybe sharing something? Just do it. Just put it out. See what comes out of your mouth if you just start talking. Search engine. Alright, well, I hope that everyone's still just feeling very meditative and peaceful. And I also hope that in these moments where we share, that even if it's just the simplest little thing, that we share more. I want to hear you smile or giggle or say I feel peaceful. Or I want to hear how these sessions help you. So maybe you can set the intention that in future sessions, in sharing time, you just want to make this more about all of us together. So we're going to finish with our dedication. So I put these sessions on. It's good for me. I really hope they're good for you. My wish is for you to be free from suffering, to cultivate joy and assertiveness, for you to be able to navigate high pressure moments with more ease and style and finesse. My real intention is for you to feel amazing and to feel like you're an ambassador for awesomeness, and that we all are making that world. And as that's my intention, I hope you can also just feel your dedication to share positivity, to give it to yourself often, to find ways to share it with others. The seeds that you were given, cherish them, meditate on them. Search engine, is that a hand up?
My mic is never on the right one, sorry. I just wanted to give my appreciation for this group. I am very much at peace, and the things that I have learned from this group and these teachings have definitely been brought more into practice within my life, I have noticed, and they have helped me immensely within tough situations and have brought me a whole lot more peace within my life, and has got me started on a very big self-discovery journey that I am very happy to be on, and I'm very glad to be a part of this group and thankful for everyone and you to have these opportunities every week.
I'm so glad I encouraged you to share. That was beautiful. Thank you. Well, let's tie that into our dedication. Let's be grateful for one another, and the peace that we get, we can share it with others. We make the world a better place together. Right, looks like I'm running out of power, so I'm going to end the session now. Thank you, everybody. Sending you all lots of love. And may you here in the temple keep hanging out.